from wishful thinking to embodied action. Congratulations. And more importantly, thank you for making the bold decision to invest in the most powerful upgrade you can ever make, your identity. This course isn't just about setting goals. It's about becoming the kind of person who naturally follows through on them, without relying on constant motivation, willpower, or hustle. Because here's the truth. You don't get what you want. You get who you are. That's why so many people start strong and then stall. They focus on doing more, when the real shift happens by becoming more. Whether you've struggled with inconsistency, self-doubt, or starting and stopping, this course will guide you through a proven, transformational framework to break free from identity-based self-sabotage. Align your habits with your highest self. Anchor a future-focused identity that drives effortless follow-through. Build rituals, routines, and mindsets that reinforce who you're becoming every single day. Compass what you'll learn. Over the next 5 weeks, you'll move from wishful thinking to embodied action by mastering. White heavy checkmark the psychology of identity and lasting behavior change. White heavy checkmark how to design and activate your future self. White heavy checkmark micro rituals that create momentum and consistency. White heavy checkmark tools to overcome resistance, perfectionism, and fear. White heavy checkmark how to reinforce your transformation for long-term success. Module 1. Decode laziness. Why lazy is not your identity. Let's start here. You're not lazy. You've just been operating under patterns that don't serve who you truly are. Most people internalize laziness as a character flaw. I'm just not disciplined, or I've never been a hard worker. This kind of self-talk is dangerous because it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. But here's the truth. Laziness is not your personality. It's a coping mechanism. It's your mind and body trying to protect you from something deeper: fear, burnout, confusion, or misalignment. Repeat button inspiration. Consider Thomas Edison. He failed over 1,000 times before inventing the light bulb. Do you think he didn't feel tired or unmotivated along the way? Of course he did. But he didn't identify with those moments. He simply saw them as temporary states, not permanent labels. Brain the hidden causes of procrastination. Most people think laziness is about a lack of discipline or willpower, but the real reasons run deeper. Let's uncover what's really happening. 1. Fear. You're afraid of failing or succeeding. Fear can paralyze action. If I don't try, I can't mess up. 2. Overwhelm. You're staring at a massive to-do list and your brain checks out. There's too much. I don't know where to start, so I won't start at all. 3. Perfectionism. You feel like if it's not going to be perfect, it's not worth doing. Why even begin if I can't do it flawlessly? 4. Misalignment. You're chasing goals that don't truly resonate with who you are. This doesn't excite me, so my energy resists it. High voltage, the energy leak cycle, and how to close it. Imagine you start your day with a full battery. Every decision you don't make, every goal you avoid, every task you procrastinate on, leaks energy. You're not resting, you're resisting. And resistance is exhausting. This creates the energy leak cycle. Avoidance 2. Mental guilt 3. Shame spiral 4. Lower energy 5. More avoidance. Repeat button real life example. One of my clients, Sarah, kept putting off launching her podcast. She labeled herself lazy, but when we dug deeper, she admitted she was terrified no one would listen. Once we addressed the fear and broke the task into small, manageable steps, her energy shifted. She recorded her first 3 episodes in 1 week. Back-end index pointing right, closing the leaks. Break big tasks into micro-actions. Set clear, simple priorities each day. Create start rituals, 5-minute kickoff habits. Don't wait for motivation. Create momentum. Counterclockwise arrows button, shifting from guilt to curiosity. Let's reframe how you respond when you catch yourself avoiding a task. Instead of saying, "Ugh, I'm so lazy. What's wrong with me?" Ask, "What's this resistance trying to tell me?" This shift from guilt to curiosity is everything. Guilt shuts you down. Curiosity opens you up. 8-spoke asterisk, try this exercise. When you notice an action, journal the answers to, what am I really feeling right now? What am I trying to avoid? What would a 1% move forward look like? You'll begin to see that your laziness has been a message, not a flaw. And when you listen to the message, you reclaim your power. Module 2. Rewire for action habit loops and identity-based change. Let's start by debunking a myth. Willpower is not the secret to consistency. What really drives follow-through? Habit loops built around your identity. According to Charles Duhigg, author of The Power of Habit, a habit loop has 3 parts. Cue, the trigger. Routine, the action. Reward, the payoff. The problem? Most people build habits around tasks, not identity. So when motivation dips, the habit dies. Identity-based change equals long-term change. When you see yourself as someone who follows through, your actions follow naturally. Don't just say, I want to write more. Say, I'm a writer, and writers write. Every action you take is a vote for the type of person you believe you are. Stack the votes in your favor. Green circle inspiration. James Clear, author of Atomic Habits, share how a smoker trying to quit can respond in 2 ways. No thanks, I'm trying to quit. Still identifies as a smoker. No thanks, I don't smoke. Has adopted a new identity. The shift is subtle, but powerful. Identity leads. Behavior follows. Stopwatch, the 2-minute activation rule. One of the most effective tools for beating procrastination is the 2-minute rule. If the task feels overwhelming, shrink it. Ask, what's the version of this that takes 2 minutes or less? Want a journal? Write 1 sentence. Need to work out? Do 10 jumping jacks. Trying to write your book? Open the doc and type the title. This trick works because starting creates momentum. Action beats intention. And once you begin, you're far more likely to continue. Green circle real-life example. A student in one of my workshops wanted to build a meditation habit, but never felt ready. We set a 2-minute timer each morning for simply sitting and breathing. Week 1, she hit the timer and left. Week 2, she stayed 5 minutes. By week 4, she meditated 15 minutes a day without resistance. The brain resists big tasks, but it rarely resists starting small. Fire how to generate internal drive, even when you don't feel like it. Let's be honest, you won't always feel like it. But that's not the point. High performers don't wait for motivation. They create it. Here's how. 1. Reconnect to the why. Before you act, ask, why does this matter to me? Purpose fuels persistence. Without it, you're pushing a boulder. With it, you're on a mission. Discipline is choosing between what you want now and what you want most. Abraham Lincoln. 2. Use energy rituals. Shift your state before you act. Power music playlist. Movement, walk, jumping jack, stretch. Speak your identity statement. I'm the kind of person who shows up anyway. 3. Micro rewards. Train your brain to associate action with celebration. Finished a task? High-five the mirror. Took a bold step? Write it down. Did your best today? Say out loud. Don't wait for massive wins to feel progress. Celebrate micro victories and keep the fire lit. Brain creating a mental environment that supports action. Your environment isn't just physical, it's mental. If your inner world is cluttered with doubt, shame, or old stories, it's like trying to run in quicksand. Here's how to clean it up. Broom 1. Clean up negative narratives. Replace, I always procrastinate with, I'm learning to follow through, one choice at a time. Replace, I never finish things with, I'm building the muscle of consistency. Words matter. You become what you repeat. Direct it to. Set clear intentions daily. Ambiguity breeds inaction. Clarity breeds power. Ask each morning, what are the 1 to 3 key actions that align with who I'm becoming? Write them down. Speak them aloud. Follow through. Counterclockwise arrows button 3. Use the if-then plan. Pre-decide how you'll act in moments of resistance. If I feel like skipping the gym, then I'll do 10 squats at home. If I catch myself scrolling, then I'll take a breath and return to my task. Module 3. Beat resistance and self-sabotage, catching the inner critic and the comfort zone trap. Let's start with truth. You are not lazy. You're at war with your comfort zone. The voice that tells you you're not ready, it has to be perfect, or just do it later, isn't the truth. That's your inner critic, the internal voice that tries to keep you safe by keeping you small. But here's the catch. Your goals live outside your comfort zone, and the inner critic wants you to stay exactly where you are. Your comfort zone is a beautiful place, but nothing ever grows there. Brain tool. Name the voice. One powerful way to silence the critic is to give it a name, like Doubt Debbie or Negative Nate. This simple move creates distance between you and the voice. Instead of, I'm not good enough, say, oh, that's just Debbie talking. She hates progress. Real-life example. One client named her inner critic Sabotage Sally. Every time she felt the urge to scroll instead of work, she'd say, not today, Sally. That playful awareness helped her reclaim her power. No shame, just self-leadership. Direct it the do it ugly method. Crush perfectionism with action. Perfectionism is procrastination in a fancy outfit. So many dreams die not because of failure, but because someone was waiting to get it just right. The antidote, the do it ugly method. Lightbulb, this method means you start messy. You launch before you're ready. You give yourself permission to be imperfect on the way to excellent. You don't need to be perfect to be powerful. You need to be in motion. Inspiration. Sarah Blakely, founder of Spanx and a self-made billionaire, said her dad asked her every week, what did you fail at this week? He celebrated action, not outcomes. That mindset freed her to try boldly. Fail fast, learn quickly, and win big. High voltage momentum motivation, the action-first formula. Here's the harsh truth no one wants to admit. Motivation is overrated. You'll never feel like it all the time. And that's okay. The real game changer? Taking action first. Letting motivation follow. Imagine a train. It takes the most energy to move the first few feet. But once it's rolling, it becomes unstoppable. Action fuels clarity. Action builds confidence. Action drives emotion. Lightbulb quick start tips. Set a 10-minute timer and just begin. Use the 2-minute rule from Module 2 to break the inertia. Create a done list at the end of the day. Celebrate any win, big or small. Mini case study. One student was stuck writing her first blog post for weeks. So we challenged her to write the worst version possible in 15 minutes. She laughed. Then she wrote. And guess what? It was raw, but real. That imperfect post led to 6 more that month. DNA, the science of dopamine and reward stacking. Let's talk brain chemistry. Dopamine is the neurotransmitter of desire. It's what fuels anticipation and drives you to chase rewards. But here's the problem. Most people wait for a big goal, like publishing a book or launching a business, to give them the dopamine hit. That's too long to wait. Enter reward stacking. Lightbulb reward stacking equals linking small actions to instant wins, so your brain learns that doing the thing equals feeling good. Here's how. Celebrate immediately after you take action. Fist pump, smile, check off your tracker. Pair a task with a reward. Write 200 words, then sip your favorite coffee. Track your streak. Your brain loves visual proof of progress. Real-life win. A coaching client who struggled with gym consistency created this ritual. Heavy checkmark gym done equals blast favorite hype song on the way home. Heavy checkmark post a sweaty selfie in her private progress group. Heavy checkmark give herself a gold star on her whiteboard tracker. Within 3 weeks, she wasn't skipping workouts, she was craving them. Her brain was hooked on the habit loop of do, reward, repeat. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be in motion. The people who win aren't the smartest or most talented. They're the ones who keep showing up. Let's build that version of you. One brave, messy, momentum-filled step at a time. Let's move. Your future self is watching. Module 4. Make action a lifestyle. Topic. Sustain change and build identity-based discipline. Theme. When action becomes part of who you are, not just something you do, you become unstoppable. Lightbulb, why lifestyle beats hustle. It's one thing to take action for a few days. It's another to make action your new normal. A lifestyle rooted in discipline, not pressure. Here's the truth. Discipline is not punishment. It's self-respect. It's doing the things your future self will thank you for, even when present you doesn't feel like it. Success doesn't come from what you do occasionally. It comes from what you do consistently. Marie Forleo. Counterclockwise arrows button, designing action-based routines that energize you. Discipline is easier when it flows with your energy, not against it. Start by designing routines that support your identity and actually feel doable. Ask yourself, when do I feel most clear and energized? What small actions anchor me when I feel off? How can I make showing up easier and friction-free? Example routine, the Power 3. Wake up when. Make your bed or drink a glass of water equals small win to start the day. Midday move, a 5-minute walk to reset focus. Evening closure, reflect on one win, one lesson, one tomorrow intention. Client story, a former student hated structure but loved music. So we designed her AM energy ritual around a playlist. She danced while brushing her teeth, reviewed her top 3 tasks with coffee, and played one hype song before work. Productivity soared, not because she forced it, but because she made it hers. Fire aligning goals with purpose, not pressure. Laziness often creeps in when your why isn't strong enough, or you're chasing goals out of pressure, not passion. Action rooted in alignment lasts. Action rooted in obligation burns out. Ask, why does this goal matter to me? Not just society or social media. Who am I becoming by doing this? How will this serve others, not just myself? Mini exercise, purpose mapping for each major goal, connect it to a personal value, e.g. growth, freedom, contribution. A long-term vision, what future does this build? A bigger mission, who does this help beyond you? Example, I want to get in shape becomes, I value vitality and self-leadership. This gives me the energy to show up fully for my kids and lead with confidence at work. Chart increasing systems to track progress and stay consistent. Consistency doesn't happen by accident. It's supported by systems. You don't need complex tracking tools. You need simple visibility. Choose one system that works for you. The don't break the chain method. Cross off each day you complete your key action. The Habit Streak app, visual and gamified tracking to keep you going. Weekly progress journals. Reflect each Sunday what worked. What's next? Pro tip. Focus on inputs, not outcomes. Track what you can control, actions, not what you can't, results. Real-life example. A coaching client tracked only one thing. Did I honor my identity today? Even if he didn't finish everything, showing up with the right energy gave him the confidence to keep going day after day. Repeat button, how to bounce back quickly from lazy days. Lazy days are not failure. They're feedback. The goal is not never to stumble. It's to bounce back faster. You didn't break the habit. You missed one rep. Get back in the gym. James Clear, Atomic Habits. The 3-step bounce back formula. Forgive fast. Guilt keeps you stuck. Curiosity gets you moving. Ask, what threw me off? What can I learn? Reconnect to identity. Say your identity statement aloud. I'm the kind of person who follows through, even after a rough day. Take one small action. Shrink the task. Do one push-up. Write one sentence. Open the file. Get in motion. Client story. A student had a bad week and skipped her goals. Older would spiral for days. Newer said, I don't need a perfect streak. I just need a comeback mindset. She took a walk, listened to her identity audio, and picked one thing to finish that day. That moment? A bigger win than any perfect week. Congratulations. You didn't just complete a course, you initiated a transformation. You've moved through the hard truths of change. You've challenged the old narratives that once kept you stuck. And most importantly, you've begun to embody the person who follows through, not just dreams. Brain, let's recap what you've built. Week 1, you discovered the power of identity. Why behavior doesn't stick unless your self-image evolves. Week 2, you designed your future self, clarified your core values, and crafted an identity statement to live by. Week 3, you created daily rituals that aligned your thoughts, energy, and behavior with who you're becoming. Week 4, you learned to act as if, developing consistency, confidence, and resilience through imperfect action. Week 5, you reinforced the habits, beliefs, and identity of your new self and learned how to evolve sustainably. Counterclockwise arrows button, what comes next? Identity shift is not a finish line, it's a foundation. You'll continue to grow, to stretch, and to reinvent. But now, you have the tools to do it on purpose. So whether you're facing resistance, launching something new, or recommitting after a setback, come back to this. Who do I choose to be in this moment? Because goals are temporary, but identity is what drives lasting success. Fire final reminders. You don't need to feel ready. Act like the version of you who already is. You don't need to be perfect. Show up. Messy counts. You don't need more motivation. You are momentum now. The old you had good intentions. The new you takes aligned action. Clinking glasses, here's to the version of you who finishes what they start. Here's to the future you're no longer hoping for. You're becoming it. Now go live it.